Яна, вмикай, будь ласка.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna share the screen. Okay, you can see the screen, right? Good, great. Okay, so I'm gonna start my, I don't know, I don't want to call this a presentation, even though it looks like one, but if you want to ask any question, if they occur to you, so you can find the, in the chat box, you can find the link to Slido. I hope it's visible there. And okay, so I'm gonna talk about a few things. And yesterday, then when I was getting ready and thinking, what can I tell you? I thought about some things, and then I understood that talking about the war and the things that you're going through the war, it's how to say, I don't know if the best phrase is not my cup of tea, but it's like, it's very hard to comprehend for us. I have no idea how hard it is to comprehend for you. So I really want to concentrate on some of the other things that I believe that we still struggle, each of us as a person, as people. And I imagine that to find a purpose through those hard times is especially hard because you want to believe in yourself, and the like tragedies happening around, it's very hard to do that. So I wanted to talk a bit more about how do you find a purpose the way I understand that. So at first I'm going to speak about a bit about me, and then later on I'm going to share my ideas and also a few ideas for the future for you to look at, to join like a community, to get a mentor or something like that. Okay, so firstly about me. So I found this idea quite funny when a group of friends meet after a lot of time, and they do like a presentation because they didn't see each other for a long time. And I want to speak with you as friends and speak about how was my life lately. So all of those like 8 pictures, they give me purpose. And when I was trying to find find the pictures that I like the most and that kind of describe me the best, I understood that they all are from the times that I felt that I am living a meaningful life. So who am I? So I'm Rugilė, I'm years old. So I have a lot of things coming in the nearest years. So for me, it's just the beginning. But I work in the Ministry of National Defense in Lithuania, and this, I guess, is the thing that gave me the most purpose recently, because I started to work there in March. The full-scale war started, and I happened to work with the support to Ukraine, and I saw a lot of people around me, people who encouraged me to move on, people who encouraged me to learn, because the thing was that everything was very complex when it came to the MOD. I didn't understand how to work in the institution, and at the same time we had to work very fast. So I understood that for me, this is the purpose that I want to acquire, and the purpose that gives me the most, like I feel very meaningful then. And this is very related to another thing that I do. I'm a volunteer in the National Defense Volunteer Forces. So I'm in the military for the past 4 years. And especially while being in the military, I understood that we are more than just men or women, because this is literally about the skills that we have. And yes, I felt a lot of times that I'm weaker because some things are just they're physically meant to be. And for example, if we are in the woods and we are doing something together with a team, a man can carry another man on his shoulder, right? I can't do that, and that's okay, and that's normal. There are other skills that are important in the military, and they really learn a lot of things of how to be useful in such a, one can say, like a place for men. And I understood that we really can be a team. And in the military, we have sometimes this saying that you're a soldier, you're not a man and not a woman. And sometimes you can use this for a good mean, sometimes not, because sometimes you can say that you're a soldier, you have to do something, even though you can't because you're a woman. But living with this stereotypes and having these boundaries, I understood that you just have to be creative. And even though in such an institution, there are a lot of places to be creative, and that's what I love. Also, I finished bachelor's in political science this summer, and I guess these three pictures kind of combined my purpose and combined the answer to the question, who am I? And political science, international relations really helped me to look very like broad, to different directions, to the east, to the west, the way I understand life. And it literally kind of I understood that my approach after school was very narrow, and I really expanded it, and I really loved it about that. So the fourth picture is about volunteering, but also about sports, which I didn't include because sports also give me the very huge purpose and determination and will to do things. And it was especially because like 3 or 4 years ago, I was like unable to, I don't know, run 2 or 3 kilometers without like running out of breath. And right now for me, like 15 or 20 is okay. So it's all about like determination. And I thought that I can do that. But during the COVID, I had to find something to do outside of the home because I cannot go, I don't know, to the pool, right, to go bouldering, whatever. And this was the only available activity. So I actually started to do that. I understood that I like that. That was new for me. The fifth thing was also, I guess, something that kind of also summarizes everything. And the last 4 pictures are, I guess, regarding this matter. So it's like support to Ukraine, meeting Ukrainians, and celebrating freedom. So for me, the past year was mostly about collecting memories, about the places where I can see that people support Ukraine, going to events where people organizes them, meeting Ukrainians and trying to help them, and especially celebrating freedom during our national celebrations, who actually gained a very different perspective these years. I always say that our national celebrations for me are even more important than birthdays, because during those days you can feel the unity of the people, the way people are united. They want to be together, want to sing the national songs, they want to raise, like, show their flags that they have. And for me, this gives the feeling that I think that I lost because I was not born in 1990s. So that's why I really love the feeling right now. So these whole like these pictures kind of explains what is my purpose, and that's why I wanted to talk about how to find a purpose. Recently, like a few days ago, I met with my friend, and she asked me, so how did you understand, like, who are you? And then I immediately started to tell her back, who am I? And then it took like 30 minutes for me to explain. And I understood that this cannot be put like in one sentence. It's impossible to explain just, I know, if I gave you my titles, that would be just my titles, and there would be no backstory. So I kind of sat yesterday and thought through that story that I gave to my friend. And I understand that it has these like 5-6 steps that I do when I feel that I lost my purpose, or that I feel that I do not pursue my goals. So I usually try to remind myself that what do I really like? Because usually we forget that, especially when you have, like, as I said, a tragedy around, when you're very tired, when you're tired because, I don't know, school, university, kids, work, whatever, and we just forget what do we really like. And this was a lot of times I asked this during my internships, that I had a lot of internships during my university times. When I started working, when I started to study, when I finished my studies and I thought about going to master's, what do I really like? And when I ask those questions and I see the keywords that appears to my mind, and I really remember the moment that I was, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I was reading about the conflict. I think that was Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, and I understood that like 2 or 3 hours passed after I turned on like that video, after that I like read a few articles, and I understood that I'm really interested in security. I'm really interested in defense. I'm really interested in understanding different backgrounds, and that I really like that. And that after I found those keywords like security and defense, and then I went to like, I started to think, where can I go in order to be able to do this every day? And what am I good at? And then I understood that I can write, I can read, I can speak with people, I don't know, speak with them and then put this into writing. I understood that this makes me very like, I know, like living a meaningful life. And then I thought that these things can be done in some specific places where I can go. And there are some people, I see that there are 2 types of people. Ones that are working from 8 to 5, and they live after 5, and they say that it's enough for them to live after 5 and do whatever they want after 5. But from 8 to 5, they can be unhappy, they can be tired, whatever, because they lived after that. For me, it's different. If you're doing something 40 or 50 hours a week, you should feel like you like it. Like, it's the way you kind of, yeah, there can be something that you don't like, but if you feel irritated, unhappy, tired all the time, that's not the thing, that it's not your purpose then. So after that, it's very important to understand that every step counts and the purpose can be relatively small. Because I know that most of us, women or men, whatever, we usually think that these goals, there should be super like huge, like we should be very recognizable, very important. I know people should recognize us from something that we do. We should be specialists, etc. And when you frighten yourself with such huge statements, everything you do can seem too small to be like counted as something that you achieved. And this is very related to the 5th point, and this is do not push yourself. I remember very well when I talked with my psychologist like 2 years ago, and we talked about difference between being stressed out and feeling like anxiety. And this is a very huge difference, because if you are stressed out because you are having a job interview or you're having a very huge assignment or presentation to the CEO of the company or whatever, it's good because that stress is not, it will go away like right after. But if that thing passes by and you still feel the anxiety, it's not good. It's the thing that makes you feel unhappy, makes you feel bad. And feeling anxiety, it's the thing that will stop you from finding, maybe not to find a purpose, but reaching that purpose, reaching that goal. So anxiety is actually one of the biggest problem to people. I mean, talking about like the mental illnesses, people who have depression, etc. So anxiety is that thing that takes only the biggest percentage of all the illnesses. And even though you feel like you can't call this an illness, but it actually is. And I believe that it's very important after some time, for example, a year or 2 or 3 or 3 years, you can look back and just appreciate where are you right now. Because if like a few years ago, somebody would have told me what I'm doing right now, that would be hard for me to believe, even though right now it feels for me that I could do 10 times more. So it's very important to appreciate what you're doing and look back, and it can be related to anything, not only to career. It can be related to the way you see yourself, the way you, raise your children or completed some kind of a milestone. So a lot of things. And Then I thought about what do you need in order to pursue that goal or find a purpose. I thought the most important thing is determination, not pushing yourself too hard, but just determination to continue what you're doing. And actually, I looked up in the dictionary the definition of determination, and it was written there that it's firmness of purpose. So I actually just somehow connected those points that for purpose is important to have determination, and it's actually in the definition of determination. So I think that's the most important quality, and it's very important to like don't give up, because there are a lot of things happening, as I already told, and it's very hard to keep up with your goal if you feel like it's too much, if you feel that a lot of things are happening around, and it's just very, very easy to stop doing what you're doing because you don't see the exact results. But I don't want to sound like saying some kind of clickbait or something like that, but we really forget the process part. The process part is the most important, and especially talking about my past year, I don't know if I can name like a lot of things as accomplishments, but I can say that I did a lot of good processes that I really loved, and it can, like, almost everything that I did was some kind of process that gave me purpose. So it's very important to stick to your goal and understand that the goal can change, that one day you can wake up and feel that this is not for you anymore. So trying to find a purpose and do not pushing yourself if you can't do that, and having the right amount of determination would really help to reach success, I can say. And talking about some ideas for the future. So I wrote things that some of them I tried myself. Some of them I found very interesting. And these are things that I believe that each person should have in their life. Maybe some people don't like, being a part of some community or having a mentor. Yeah, it's you can choose these things, but I believe that it's important at least to try. So some of these things are related to the sphere of my interest, so it might be not to everyone, but I just wanted to tell about each of them. So find a community, right? So these are the few that I like. So the first one is Women Go Tech, and these are for the women who are interested in changing their career path into the IT sector. And they have around 10 paths, so they are very different, from cybersecurity to development, being designers, etc. And they are actually very nice because it lasts for 6 months, and everything is in English. So completely no worries. You just need to go through the interview and fill in the motivational letter, and after that you just need to enjoy the lectures you are getting, and you can participate in the lectures online, you can go on site. So it's very very interesting. And actually after that you meet a lot of great people, a lot of CEOs of the companies, representatives of the companies, and they are really keen on having like interviews after this program with the women who really want to change their career path. And most of them are women who, for example, just had their maternity leave and they want to do something else. Women who just, I don't know, started to understand that they are not in the right place. And it's actually a great place to meet people and find people who might be maybe even new friends. So the second one is related to Women Go Tech, specifically for the cybersecurity, and many countries have their own chapters. So The first one is the Lithuanian one, and the others are EU. So there are a lot of countries, but I believe that even Lithuanian one could accept a member who's not Lithuanian, because the women there are just wonderful, and we are doing a lot of things, a lot of events. We are going to children to speak about cybersecurity, so it's actually a very nice place to start if this topic is interested. One more thing Lithuania has is WoW University. So I checked that there are some lectures in English also, and these are for women who want to try their own brand, who want to rebrand, who want to speak about the skills that will be important in the future. And this is actually a very important thing, I'd say, because a lot of professions won't be as useful in the future as it is right now. So to hear about the future skills that will be needed and learn them, I think it's very important. And this university is like the first one in Lithuania that it's, as a university, it's not the real one, but they have a lot of lectures and certificates. So it's a very good initiative. And also the fourth one is Lithuanian Sisters for Sisters. So this is a new initiative also for women from Ukraine fleeing war. So it's also very important to read about what they're doing, to join some of the activities if that's possible. Some of them are also online. So I think that's a very good place to find a community. So finding a community is not only about gaining new knowledge, but it's also about finding new friends. And I believe that in the hard times, it's very important to find someone who feels you. It might be not of the same tragedy, but it might be of the same goals, of the same purpose, even about motivation. For me, I really love to go to the communities where I wouldn't feel like the smartest person in the room. I just love maybe to feel the least smartest person in the room, because it gives me motivation to learn, to study, and to find out new things. So the second thing is finding a mentor. These are actually the mentoring programs that I tried almost all of them. I didn't try the first one because their mentorship is coming in March, I think, to fill in the registration. But also a lot of countries have this big brother, big sister thing. And it's very nice because this mentorship is around 6 or 7 months long. Also, it's for free. You just have to go through the application, but you can be a mentor or a mentee, and you really get the specialist that can try to help you in all different topics that you're interested in. And I got a lot of good recommendations about this program, and I would really like to try. So I suggest this one to everyone. Even though if not a Lithuanian one, as I said, there are many chapters. We just have to look that in the internet. Then we have idialogue.lt. So you can also, as a Ukrainian, for sure, you can sign up here and fill in the registration form. There are many different people. I also checked, and they are like from all fields, you name it, like different businesses, different public institutions, artists, whatever. So it's just amazing that you can apply. You just need to match with them. So you just apply to the person you like. You tell him or her, why do you want to have him as a mentor? And then after 48 hours, you either get a match, or if not, you can try again. And the last one is specifically for the ones living in Lithuania, like Ukrainians living in Lithuania, is to find like a friend, like a mentor, who can help you to just live here, to give some important info, just tell about living here easily, going to different places, doctors, etc. So it's also a very good thing if you are in a foreign country, and specifically if you are in Lithuania. Then I believe that it's very important to think about the emotional health center. I actually, the first one is the center that I went to. So it's Lengvos Mintis, so like easy thoughts. And not like an easy ones that are not heavy. And this is, I believe it's very important for us to find the right help, and especially in Lithuania right now, universities are offering help for for Ukrainian students who come here. Medical centers are offering help for Ukrainians who live here also for free. And Lengvos Mintis is the one that is not for free, but I included it here because maybe sometimes someone or a Lithuanian, somebody would like to try it, because I really recommend the center. They have a very good specialist. But talking about the second one, it's manodaktaras.lt. So they really have a lot of free slots. I checked it up online, and they have a lot of specialists, and every Ukrainian can go and just click the spot and reserve the space for the online. If the possibility is only to have the online consultation, it's important to do one. So I'd really recommend everyone checking up this list. This might be very useful. And then the last one, it's about the podcasts. The thing is that I mostly, the ones related with the mental health, I mostly listen Lithuanian ones. But there is one podcast called Nara, and they have a few, quite a few English podcasts series, and they're really good. The people are very interesting. They are talking about various topics, from war till some social issues in the countries, and they have very different approaches. Sometimes the podcasts are like documentaries from the place where everything is happening. Sometimes they're online calls, etc. So I really suggest looking up and finding the interesting topic. And the last one is 10%.com podcast, so also a very popular one. Many different topics talking about how our brain works, about anxiety, also about the way people are living with different specialists from different fields. So I also really recommend to checking up this one. So these are the ideas that I thought of recently. But if you have any questions, especially if things are related with living in Lithuania, if things are related with finding a community, because I know a lot of communities talking about sports, talking about volunteering, talking about, I don't know, just finding common goals together. So as for me, it's cybersecurity, but I know a lot of different communities. So it's possible to text me, and I can try to find the best solution, even if it's, even if you are not from here. There are a lot of mentors, especially, or communities where you can sign up, and it can be online. So this was all from me. As I said, if you need any advice about living here in Lithuania, or just want to make a new friend, I'm really happy to speak with you, because actually after the February 24th, I see that I felt so close to my country all the time. I didn't even imagine myself living somewhere else more like for, I don't know, a year or something like that. But then the full-scale war started. I understood that I never felt so close to another country before. And like I felt with Ukraine, and then that I really want to learn your language. I never learned Russian. So for me, it's like, an urge to keep up with this path and learn your language. And also just to, I forgot to mention, talking about one of the pictures. Yeah, this one. The third picture, so this was my graduation, and I actually wanted, and Svetlana helped me a lot, I actually wanted to have a thing created for me to wear. And this was a Lithuanian vyshyvanka, I'd say. because we tried to do like a collaboration between two of the styles, as our folklore dresses are quite similar to yours, maybe just a little bit different colors. And we try to kind of match different materials. And my mother made this flower crown because it's also very, very important for us as a country. And I actually felt very good. I felt like I found a sister, I'd say, Lietuva and Ukraine. And for me, that was very, very important. And that's why I feel that I can connect to a lot of people from your country. So if you need anything, you can let me know. Yeah, so that's it for me.
Rugilė, thank you so much. I really liked your story, and especially I like the fact that you said these are just my descriptions and titles, and there's always a story behind that. I'm just curious to know how you came into this activism, into being a volunteer, into connecting with all these people. Because today we were talking earlier this day, there was a speaker talking about women's activism and what it is, trying to define the activism, trying to define the values that keep us alive and keep us going. So just if you could probably share your personal story and tell us how you came into this spot where you are now and which was your way, it would be great. I would be grateful. Thank you.
So I believe that it is very easy for us to think that we can't do something. And for me, it's usually like I want to reach the, I don't know, from A to Z, but I have no idea what's the middle part. And I'm like, okay, so what have you done? What have you done? What should I do? How can I copy it in order to go somewhere to that place? But when I started to look to my friends, to my female friends, and I understood that they're all so different and they chose like so different paths, and sometimes it's so hard to listen to them, then they do not appreciate the way they have already, like the things they have already achieved. And sometimes they, I know, they think that they didn't achieve because I know they didn't earn enough money, they didn't earn enough recognition for something, somebody didn't say thank you or didn't recognize the thing. It's because I believe that there is no such thing as common sense for people, right? Because I have my own common sense, right? Slava, you have your own common sense. And sometimes you just have to stick up to what you're doing, because if you feel that is meaningful, it will be meaningful. And I think that to share my thoughts, I actually always wanted to share my thoughts with children. That was the thing that I still really want to do, especially talking about the love for the country one cannot take for granted, because we usually ask what country gave for us, but you know, as a famous quote of the Kennedy, you have to ask, not like to tell what did you give to the country. And I believe we should talk about this more, either you're a child or a woman or a man, right? So I'd say that I'm more like the activists in that side, that I believe we have to share our knowledge with others. And sometimes when we speak about these things out loud, we understand that we are really appreciated. Because when I hear that my female friends, for example, say that they didn't achieve something, I then try to name them what did they achieve from my point of view. And usually the answer is like, oh yeah, I never thought about it. Because sometimes you just need to stop pushing yourself too hard.
This is so interesting of what you say, because others to be the mirror for us. Like, for instance, I had the experience of working with a mentor, and that is why my topic tomorrow will be about the importance of our personal stories. And that is why I was interested in your story, because my mentor, what she didn't give me any theoretical knowledge, you know, or didn't tell me, read this book and you'll become a clever woman from now on. It felt as if she held the mirror for me, and she showed me who I really am. She helped me to define what I did and what I'm doing. And this is so great, because once you go into activism, it's always not just, you know, about doing something, but it's always about the people you gather around your idea. The passionate people who believe in the same, like, who share your values, and it's about the community. And I really like, I absolutely like what you say, because it corresponds to what I think. Yes, we need other people sometimes just to remind us, look, this is what you did, and that's you.
Yeah, exactly. And that, because we usually say that, oh no, that was just, you know, some kind of right place, right time, you know, somebody helped me, and that's okay to acknowledge other factors also. But the thing that you are always with is you, like you as a person. So I really remember when I spoke with my psychologist, and it was very interesting, because I said that sometimes I like to be alone in order to do things faster. For example, I need to go there, and there to buy this, that, and that, to meet somebody really quick, to do some business or whatever. And it's easier for me to do that alone, because somebody else with me can have like different thoughts, different needs, etc. And I said, and that's nice. I like to do that. But when I'm alone at home, for example, like writing some notes, I like to say that you're not good enough. You didn't do that in a best way that you can. You should push harder. And then my psychologist said the thing that I carry with myself for the past 3 years, that we are usually, like, I am usually a very good colleague with myself, but I'm not a friend to myself. And then I go somewhere, and yeah, you are good at doing business alone. I mean, it's very good because you know where you have to go to certain points. But when it comes to an end, when you are, you know, before going to bed, and then you are imagining, like, I can't say to my friend that you are bad at this, you're not good enough. I would never told her this, right? But I can tell this to myself.
Exactly.
And then I understood that this is the mirror part that you talked about, right? And I can look at the mirror and I can speak with myself, like I can speak with myself, not as a friend, but like, I don't know, an enemy, a person that I don't like a person I want to punish. Why would I do that?
Exactly. Oh my God, you're my soul sister. I mean, it was just the same thought that I came up with, that I'm so sympathetic to everyone. I can understand everyone's pain, that someone is late and someone is messed up, and I'm there for him and her. But the moment I get messed up or I do something bad, I go, okay, what was that? You did not work enough. That's because you didn't spend enough time. That's because you didn't practice. That's because it was not your full potential. And sometimes all we have to do is just, you know, to give ourselves a pat on the shoulder and to say, you did great, girl. You really did an amazing job. And sometimes good enough is already enough. Like, not perfect, not fantastic, but good enough. Right.
For sure. We can't, if we were like our maximum all the time, we wouldn't be our maximum all the time.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be our maximum than to somebody that, I don't know, needs our maximum that time. And I'm talking right now, and I think we both can share this feeling that we know what we need to do. Sometimes it's just hard to actually do it. You know, like to be good to yourself, not to give too much of yourself to everybody, and you know, to understand how to self, like, kind of appreciate yourself and have this self-love. And about the self-love, I'm talking not about that you find 1 day per month to go to, I know, on a massage or get your nails done, that we have this Western approach to self-love. No, self-love is not about that. Self-love is, understanding your own boundaries and being able to say no, being able to say yes, and extra things like getting nails done or hair done is just the things that we do, I don't know, because we need to, because it's fun, but it's not the self-love to the fullest, for sure.
Thank you so much. It's been a really empowering lecture and a discussion and talk. And I really like the quotation that you gave. It's about not what the country gives to us, but what we have on offer and what we can give to a country. And just as a short roundup, I would simply like to ask you, I know that Lithuania has been through different times, difficult times as well. I know that Ukraine now, we're going through very difficult times, and it's not easy to love the country. It's not easy to accept the new reality. Just a word of advice to all the women who are abroad, who are here, who come through this very difficult existential, I would even call it like that, experience. What would you suggest? How and what to concentrate on?
This reminds me of my work a little bit. Like, the thing that came up to my mind is that in the Ministry of National Defense, we usually, like for the past year, we usually talk about the way we are, training Ukrainians, the way we should give something to Ukrainians. It might be, cyber, it can be real hard like warfare as in a hard thing. And the thing is that after this year, after, I don't know, the next year, and whenever it's going to end, you'll be the ones giving us lessons. And this is what we talk after all. I mean, lessons learned from Ukraine will be the one that you can tell us. And it's not only the talking about warfare, like the warfare we have right now. It will be about everything, how to go through the hard times, how to make believe in yourself during those hard times and everything else. And this is the conclusion we achieved, that all the lessons from Ukraine will be for us, and you'll be the specialist. So I think that we have to maybe carry on this thought that right now it's very hard, but after all, this experience, you are very valuable, but this experience will make you, I don't know, some superheroes you never wanted to be, but the superheroes you became. And I think Lithuanians really understand that. And I don't want to say that cliche that you are fighting our war for us, but the thing is that it's not only this for us, it's the collective, pain that we feel, and collective pain that we understand that you don't deserve. So maybe stick up to this feeling that we will support you all the time. I know we are small, and I know sometimes all the time we need the US to support us, but our hearts are the ones that will be here as long as possible. Yeah, as long as needed, not as possible.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, you nearly made me cry. I was pinching on my hand. What you said is very valuable, I'm sure, because we've never chosen this. We've never wanted this war, and all we have to do is just either escape, because we just basically can't handle it, or stay and try to learn to handle it. And none of these experiences is easy or acceptable in a way. We never chose this, but we are forced to. And through this experience, I think we are becoming stronger, and I really hope that we also become wiser, because I am sure that ahead of us there is time where important decisions need to be made, and important actions need to be taken, and we have to be sober. We have to be adequate for that moment. When the war is over, the whole reconstruction of the new society will not be over. It will be just the beginning of it.
And you'll be the mentors, we'll be mentees.
Yeah, thank you so much for this wonderful, synergy, I call it. Yes, for this partnership that we can rely on. And thank you for taking your time off your weekend. It's a Saturday and you are here talking about freedom, talking about important things. This is really valuable. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for inviting.
Girls, ladies, if you have any questions, you can write them down into the chat, and because Rugilė is here for you and she may answer any questions, or you may just switch on your phones and microphones and just talk. Feel free.
If what, you can always text me.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Yeah. Find Rugilė on social media. She's in LinkedIn and on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. Okay, then. If there are no questions, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being here today. Enjoy the Saturday, enjoy the weekend. And remember that empowered women empower women. Let's do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Slava.
Bye-bye.